여러분 안녕하세요. 미치쌤입니다. Welcome back to my YouTube channel 미친영어코칭. 오늘 영상에서는 제가 실제 외국계 기업 임원들과 시니어 매니저에게 코칭하는 power phrases 5가지를 공개합니다. I'm going to teach you 5 what we call power phrases that will make you speak like a leader. Okay, now there are many phrases, and if you subscribe to this channel, you'll get them. In every video, I'm teaching you these kind of phrases that will help you speak English more like a native English speaker, but also will make you seem and look like a leader and feel like a leader in business. When you're doing business, it's hard to feel like a leader in a second language, right? I know many of you, English is not your first language, and you're doing business in English a lot of times with, global companies and that sort of thing. And when you speak English, inside you don't feel like a leader because it's your second language. Normal. That's totally normal. But I'm going to help you through these videos. I'm helping you to learn some phrases and learn some ways of speaking in English that will help you feel like a leader. It will help you look like a leader, and it will help you be a leader. Okay, so here today I'm going to give you 5 very useful phrases, okay, for you to use. So let's say you're in a meeting. These are good for when you're in a meeting or just in a business conversation. The first phrase is, you ready for this? I'd like to chime in here. 세련되게 대화에 개입하기. When you want to say something, you want to add something to the conversation. I'd like to chime in here. Chime in is just an idiom expression. Chime in means I want to make some noise. Like the chimes, the things you ring, in the wind, they ring. Wind chimes, we call them. That's the same thing. You're making noise. In other words, I'd like to say something is what it means. It's just an idiom that we use. It sounds, very friendly, very, not too serious. It's not too formal. But it is okay to use it in a formal business setting. Okay, so even though it doesn't sound very formal, it's still a good phrase in a business setting. It doesn't sound informal. Okay, if that makes sense. There's some phrases like that. They're kind of, casual, but still professional. Okay, and this is one of those casual, professional phrases. I'd like to chime in here. Whenever you want to say something. Okay, you wait for the correct time. Maybe raise your hand or just say, oh, yeah, I'd like to chime in here. Let's say the boss is trying to finish the meeting. He's saying, okay, everybody, time for lunch. He said, okay, but yeah, I'd like to chime in here. That means I have something to say. And then they'll say, okay, go ahead. Okay, so that's a great phrase to use. Try that one. Another one, let's keep the ball rolling. 회의의 흐름 유지하기. Okay, that means keep the ball rolling means, let's keep moving. The conversation is, stalled. Sometimes when you have a meeting, things are, they kind of get blocked because people are talking about just their opinion or there's a problem, and people are going back and forth, but nothing is changing, nothing's happening. The meeting needs to go forward. And you, as a leader, you got to keep it moving, okay? If you want to be a leader, you have to lead. And one of the ways to do that is to say, hey guys, let's keep the ball rolling here. That means let's keep going, okay? We're getting stuck. So let's keep the ball rolling. Doesn't sound rude, again. It doesn't sound too strong. It's just a nice, casual, professional phrase to say, basically, let's go. Let's keep talking. Let's not get stuck talking about one thing. We have many things to talk about. So let's keep the ball rolling. Okay? Good phrase for a leader like you. Another one, the bottom line is. The bottom line is. 핵심 요약으로 분위기 정리하기. When you're trying to, say the main point, okay? Because a lot of times in a meeting, you're talking a lot, people are talking lots of explanations, but the boss or everybody might be thinking, what is the main point? What is the most important point that you're trying to say? Okay? We need that as listeners. You can only take in so much information. So at some point, the speaker, the leader should say, okay, here's the bottom line. Bottom line is an idiom that just means the main point of everything I just said. Here is the main point. Here is the bottom line. You could say the bottom line is, and then say your main point. Summarize what you're trying to say. Okay, that's another great phrase for you. Ready for the next one? Next one, I value your input. Oh, this one's going to make you sound like a leader. I value your input. 팀원의 참여를 독려하는 리더의 한마디. Very useful for getting your team to, recognize that you listen to them and you like them and you value their input. That's what that means. Value your input means I want to hear what you have to say because you're valuable. Your input, your feedback, your opinion is valuable. I need it. Okay. Now, if you say that to your team regularly, they're going to really believe it. Okay. If you say that to them, they're going to believe it. And you also should believe it because everybody knows, every leader knows that they are only as good as their team. Okay. The leader is only as successful as the team is successful. Everybody goes up together, right? And when you have a leader who doesn't listen to anybody, well, that's a leader who's going to fail pretty soon. And a team that's going to fail and it's going to fall apart, it's going to break. Why? Because the leader must value the team's input. They need to hear it. They need to hear feedback, even if the feedback is disagreeing with what they are saying. Okay, that is the one of the major keys to being a good leader is being able to listen and absorb feedback from people on your team, to be able to trust them enough and respect them enough to hear their feedback. Now, you don't always maybe follow their feedback, but you at least value it enough to listen to it. Okay, so that's why we say that. I value your input. So you could say in a meeting, hey guys, I value your input. So I want to hear what you all have to say. What do you think about this? I really value your input. That phrase is a great phrase for a leader, for a manager, for a team장. Yeah, someone like that. Okay. And last one here, we need to pivot. We need to pivot. 변화 상황을 유연하게 대처하기. That means pivot means it's a basketball term. This comes from basketball. When you play basketball, pivot means you turn and go a different direction, right? So we need to pivot. In business, we use it to mean we got to change the topic, right? We have other things to talk about. So we're talking about this for a long time. Let's keep the ball rolling and pivot over to this topic, okay? So anytime you're ready for a change in the subject, in a meeting, in a conversation, or just discussing goals, discussing priorities, we say, okay, guys, we need to pivot and then talk about something else. Okay, so that's a good leader phrase as well. All of these phrases, you can see in all of these phrases, you're very professionally and politely leading the conversation. You're the driver. If you're the leader, you're driving the car, okay? And even if you're not driving, let's say you're not the boss, you're just someone on the team, you can still use these phrases to make yourself more of a leader, okay? The boss, if you use these phrases, the boss will look at you and say, well, this guy, this girl, very strong leader potential, right? They'll say, I really think she's going to be a good manager someday, okay? Because you're using phrases like this that value your team's opinion, kind of make sure that the conversations don't get stuck, moving things in the right direction. All of these are very, very important for a leader. So all 5 of these, write them down, save this video so that you can come back to it, keep studying, and try to use them next time you have a meeting, next time you have a business conversation in English, to see if you can use at least one of them and work it in naturally. Okay, and keep coming back. I've got more tips for you. If you want to take my online course, I have a video course you can take. It's 5 lessons. You can do it at your own pace. You can go fast, you can go slow, you can do it whenever you have time on your computer, on your phone. That video course is focused on small talk, but business and social small talk. It can be both settings. And so sign up for that class. Right now it's 50% off. You can get that class on my website, michinerenglishcoach.com. And there you will learn lots of these kind of phrases for you to use when doing business in English. All right, everybody, I'll see you in the next video. Keep studying.